So let's let jQuery show the hiding and showing of this nav bar. And I can remove it from the CSS, or I could keep it in there. It actually doesn't really matter because we're going to allow jQuery to handle that. So now we're going to not have this menu bar disappearing. So it's still working, but let's fix this up and get it to work properly within our jQuery. So open up our editor. And I'm going to just open it up big here. And again, this is within jQuery where we do this functionality, and we're going to use a check to see what's happening with the window. And of course, jQuery, because it's bound to the window, bound to everything, any kind of user interaction, we can see that whenever the user, whatever event handler we want to attach to a specific event, so whenever the window is bound on resize, so whenever the user resizes the window, just like the click functionality, we're going to run a function over here, and this is going to do something if the user resizes the window. So just to show you how this is going to work, I'm going to console log out resized. So every time that resize takes place, it's going to fire off this event. So let's open up this and open up our inspect into console, and I'm going to make this smaller now again. So now we see that whenever, just keep clicking off of that by mistake, but we can see that whenever we're resizing, we're triggering that event and it's firing off all those console log messages. That's why that number keeps increasing, because we're doing a bunch of resizes there. So what we want to happen is we want to do a quick check to see what the status of the mini menu is. And if it's display none, then what we want to do is we want to show it, and if it's display block, then we want to hide it on the resize. And we're going to just trigger all of this functionality. So let's take a look at that now and open that up in our editor. So again, we're going to provide that same conditional type functionality in here, and we're going to check to see if this time if it's a none, and if it is a none, then instead of slide up, we're going to show it, and else is just over here, and otherwise we're going to hide it. So we're going to provide and actually maybe we need to add this back in, so I did remove this, but we still probably need to have none there in order to let CSS do some of the control, and then we can run through it as well with our jQuery. So let's see how this works out now. So remember before when we resized it and we're playing around with it, like typically the users wouldn't be doing this type of interaction. They would just maybe resize it once, but this is just something that we can handle as it's a bug within CSS. So now it's working out a lot smoother. We don't need to see the console anymore, and now we can see we've got our fully functional website. Whenever we click it, we're moving to the next section, and everything is working exactly as we're expecting on our one-page website. So again, when we resize it, we see that we've got all of this showing up and different sizes. We've got our different breakpoints set, and everything's ready to go. So this is it for our one-page dynamic website. And as you can see, we've covered off quite a bit of different functionality. So most of the bulk of it was within the HTML setup, and then the bulk of it was really the CSS, because the CSS provides a lot of that magic. But when you add in jQuery, you can see that you get all of this really neat kind of animated effects, which really makes those one-page scrolling sites look a lot better. Instead of, as before, whenever we clicked the link, the hyperlink, we would just go to the page, we wouldn't see that scroll action. So that animated scroll action in jQuery is one of the really neat things, and that's why jQuery is used oftentimes in these one-page sites, because it's just really easy to apply this really nice functionality and presentation to users. So all of the source code is going to be included as well, and I do encourage you to try it out for yourself, check it out for yourself, and see what you can produce, see what type of one-page interactive website you can produce with the content that you've learned within this course.